If your organic marketing funnel is set up correctly, you should have two things happening every single day. You should be able to bring at least 1,000 new people into your audience every day, and you should be able to see 1 to 2 sales come in every single day. So if you are not able to reach at least 30 to 100,000 people on social media and convert within 3% of those people, we need to have a conversation, and that's what this video is going to be about. So when it comes to setting up an organic marketing funnel, and the reason that people typically turn to ads when they aren't yet making $1 million per year is the fact that either one, they don't have enough people coming to their social media, so they're not getting that 30 to 100,000 views across their social media platforms every single month, or two, potentially they are reaching plenty of people and have a large audience, but they're still not actually making sales. So we have that convertibility issue there. So we want to have content that's doing two things. Number one is reaching out, bringing new people into our audience consistently. And then number two is activating people based off of which of the 4 buyer types they are, so that we are consistently creating sales from our organic content. Now, if you are somebody who is struggling with either of these things, you probably also are not quite sure what exactly you are going to say to actually get people to buy, even once you have people in your audience. And even if you have a smaller audience, you probably still are struggling with that thing. So we're going to talk about that in this video as well. So to solve each of these issues, I want to introduce you to my 3T content system. This is what is going to allow you to create 30 days of content that is going to speak to each of the 4 different buyer types. So number one, you're able to bring people through that customer journey from attraction to acquiring those leads. And number two, you're able to activate every person in your audience based off of which of the 4 buyer types they prominently are. A past client of mine who's actually in the health and wellness space is a really good example of somebody who has implemented this and set this up correctly. And I'm going to talk you through a couple different phases, kind of using her as a case study. Starting with phase 1, which is attract. This is our visibility, and this is kind of twofold ways that we're going to talk about this. So number one with this client, and what we always recommend to everybody, is to leverage different platforms for outreach versus nurturing. So rather than just focusing in on Instagram, like a lot of people do, we recommend and put clients on TikTok, Pinterest, Threads, and make sure that we are gathering visibility on different platforms. Pinterest is really great, especially for the health and wellness industry, because that is something that has a lot of search volume for. So this was really good for this client, and being able to reach between 100 and 500,000 people every single month just on the Pinterest platform. And so if you remember, what we said was the key metric that we really needed to be hitting just to be able to hit $10,000 to $20,000 a month in revenue is to be reaching between 30 and 100,000 people total. And so with just one platform, we're actually able to reach 100 to 500,000 people just on Pinterest alone. Then on TikTok, because of what we're going to speak about in a minute, framing those specific scripts to the 4 different buyer types so that we're really being highly activating in terms of sales psychology and really infusing that into the short form content. This specific client was able to grow to over 500,000 followers on TikTok, which again means that she was able to reach anywhere from 2 to 5 million people per month on TikTok. So we're already far exceeding the visibility standards and the base metrics for what needs to happen for convertibility to get above that 6-figure in sales mark. Now, beyond the specific platforms that we are leveraging for outreach, we are also employing specific strategies to the content that we are putting on those platforms to ensure that we are actually reaching new people. And this is what allows us to go far beyond that bare minimum amount of people that we need to reach. So getting into the millions of new people every single month. So this is where our 3T content system comes into play. And those 3 T's are topic, talking points, and tailored scripts. So your topic is your monthly topic, and that is going to be fully encompassing of all of the platforms that you're going to be posting on. And this is going to be your talking point for the entirety of the month. You'll then take that topic and break it down into 6 to 7 talking points, which will then be created into tailored scripts, one for each of the 4 buyer types for each of those different talking points that you've written down. By doing that, what we're able to do is attract, anchor, activate, and then acquire. So we're able to bring people not only through that customer journey and through that funnel process, while attracting new people on these platforms, but we're also able to connect with each of the 4 different types of buyers along this journey as well. Now, the reason that we speak to all 4 is because much like the 5 different love languages, although you might have one prominent one, if that's the only thing you had in a relationship, it wouldn't be a very fulfilling relationship for you. It's the same thing for the buyer type. So even if you are prominently an expressive buyer or a driver buyer, if somebody's content is only speaking to that buyer type, it's probably not going to be a very well-rounded, fulfilling relationship between the creator and the consumer. So that is why we still speak to all 4 buyer types, even if we tend to have one more than the others in an audience. Now, moving into the nurturing phase, so moving farther down the funnel, with this client, Instagram is our core nurturing platform for her, and that is typically what we recommend for most clients. So what we're doing is leveraging cross-platform traffic to bring those millions of people that we've reached on those outreach platforms to Instagram to nurture and build a connection with them. So that's where we're really anchoring people in our authority and really diving into activating those leads based on their psychology. Then the final thing that we're looking at in terms of a organic funnel is what actually your link in bio is, your landing page, and where you're bringing people to post social media. So are they going into a lead magnet and coming through an email process? Are they going to a sales call? And tracking those metrics and correlating those with what is happening and being posted on social media is going to be key to being able to create a rinse and repeat process where you can actually control your lead flow and your revenue. So key takeaway from this video is I would encourage you to break down your content. Try to plan your next month of content through that 3T system. And if you're struggling to do that, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram at kenda.lady and we can chat more about this. Or feel free to book a free strategy session with my team as well. They're always happy to chat with you about this as well. I hope this video is helpful for you. As always, be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave any questions you have in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being here.